Hi, my name is Jesus. I am the executive chef here at Chico Malo, Phoenix. And for today, I have this beautiful pollo con mole. We confit this beautiful chicken for 24 hours. And then try to get this skin super crispy using duck fat. As you can tell, like this is a half chicken, so it's like half boneless with the wingtip still in it. So here at Chico Malo, we like to utilize a lot of chilies, bold flavors. There's a lot of different spices that don't really are native to Mexico that we use here as well. We try to balance it out with acid and herbs and just the way the traditional Mexican kitchen is. And we try to serve everything in like a family style. So you can get multiple dishes for a table and have completely different flavors that range from the south to the north and even into the coastal areas of Mexico. Our cross streets here are Central and Jefferson. If you'd like to visit us anytime, we have a great happy hour. Our lunch is also really phenomenal. Have different plates for everybody, from tacos to like quesadillas, which is like kind of a Mexican take on a more of a southern take, of Mexico. Quesadillas with braised meats inside of them. Usually it's beef or goat. So here I'm continuing to cook on the chicken. As you can tell, I flipped it over. It has a really beautiful golden color on it. And then she is almost there, getting super crispy. I'm gonna let this guy continue to cook, and then we can talk more about what we have on the table. Right here we have this beautiful pork shank. We call this dish pork verde. It's a 6-hour braise, 1.5 pound pork shank. And we braise it with assortment of chilies. We use green bell pepper, Anaheims, and poblano peppers to kind of tone down the heat of the Anaheims here. Braised in chicken stock, and it comes with some house roasted potatoes, a blistered tomatillo, and we have our salsa trio that has our 3 chili salsa roja, our green salsa, and of course the in-house guac, which is always a fan favorite of. So we'll come back here to this guy, and he's looking pretty sexy right now. So this is the color we're looking for this particular dish. And I'm gonna go ahead and continue plating with this guy. A little bit of yerba buena rice. And in Mexico, yerba buena is like a wild herb, but the familiar kind of minty and grassiness is very very toned down here with the lime juice. Oop. She going out. And then we have this regional mole too, which is like a mole amarillo, which is kind of like a braised using guajillo chilies and raisins. It's very South Mexico mole. It's super bright and spicy from the guajillos. So this beautiful chicken is about to come off. One last flip to finish off. We'll let this guy rest a little bit for a second. And then we'll talk about this dish. It's called a Barbacoa blanca. In Mexico, barbacoas are usually braised goat, but here we use a beef shank. It's almost 2 pounds of beef that's braised in a very simple beef stock using cumin, whole cumin, black pepper, bay leaf, But this is a beautiful dish. Usually you'll accompany it with its own consomme, which is just the beef broth, which is a bone, like a really rich bone broth. So I'll continue to plate this guy. So it's gonna go right in the center of the plate. She's looking great here. Use a little bit of these Luxardo cherries, and this is like a unique way we use these particular cherries to tone down the harshness from the Guajillo chilies. Making a little bit on the sweeter side, kind of spread them around. Not playing too much into uniformity. Little chaotic in a sense. And then bring a little freshness with some fresh cilantro leaves, and also a little grassy from the yerba buena or mint, spearmint that we're using here. And then we'll just brighten it up a little bit with some acidity with these pickled red onions. And this is our pollo con mole here at Chico Malo, Phoenix. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, welcome to Chico Malo. My name is Jesus. I'm the executive chef here. Our cross streets are Central and Jefferson. And right here I have a beautiful molcajete here. We use fresh seafood in-house clams. For this one is a mar, in Spanish is sea. Whole octopus tentacle, fresh piece of halibut, 6-ounce portion. Give you a pretty hefty portion for the price. It's a pretty banging deal here downtown. So I have a really hot stone here. Molcajete is basically a mortar, and then we use it also as a pestle to grind down herbs, spices, and even different flours. So this guy's pretty raw and hot. And as soon as a couple of shrimps are done, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a show and make it start to bubble. So I'm gonna set these guys at the edge so they continue to cook on the stone, but don't get too dry. And by the time all the other seafood is in, you can tell the sauce is bubbling. And this is a green chili sauce that we use that has a little bit more of a broth. We use a little bit of fish stock and chicken stock to kind of mellow it out, using the same base of chilies, a little bit of habanero as well to give it some heat and some sweetness. So here we go, give it a little bit of presentation. Plating. Kind of showing off some of this beautiful seafood that we get in-house daily. We also have a different version of this that has, it's pretty meat forward. It has chicken, steak, Spanish sausage that's called linguiça, and also salsa roja that has kind of a spicy kick. It's also kind of smoky once it hits the stone. Comes with a little bit of the accoutrements as well. Nopales, which is a cactus native here in the Sonoran Desert, and some Mexican bulbed onions that are roasted hard to bring out that sweetness, and a roasted jalapeno here. And so you can have a little bit of artisanal masa here too, our in-house yerba buena rice. And these tortillas that we make in-house, they're made from a really awesome lady who actually has an heirloom corn that she grinds down, and she actually holds true to that kind of process of nixtamalization that the Aztecs created. And it's actually a beautiful product that seems really simple, but it's actually amazing. And then here we have our duck empanadas. We use the same masa that I was just talking about. That's beautiful and sweet, and you can actually taste the corn in it with a little bit of epazote, which is a herb that's really grassy and kind of bitter in a sense, but stuff it inside of that masa as well. On the outside has, in the inside it has some confit duck, duck leg and thigh, shredded with our in-house mole oaxaqueño, which is kind of like it's a version of a Oaxaca mole that's dark, chocolatey, and super complex. Think of it as like you in Indian cuisine they vary curries. It's the same thing in Mexico, like in the Oaxacan region or in the south. They vary so much. You can find 3 to 4 different versions of a mole, even within the neighborhoods. And then here we have our pozole. It has pork in it, diced pork, and then we make a really beautiful broth from that, building with guajillo chilies, oregano, onions, garlic. And it's a pretty light brothy soup with hominy, which is like a cured form of corn. And then we have our shrimp arhuachile, which is kind of our version of coastal seafood dish that's raw preparation, cured in lime juice, and it has a little bit of a tier with pico de gallo, fresh guacamole, and then we give it a little bit of a crunch with corn nuts here. And this is our version of chicharrones. We boil fresh pork skins and then we dehydrate them to get them this clear and crispy. And they're actually really good. We dust them in some tahini and salt and pepper. Well, thanks for coming by, Chico Malo. It's my pleasure to serve you. Thank you.